Welcome to Plot Point. This is Ivan Renacruz, your literary guide. This is the podcast that explores essential literature from across centuries and continents. Each episode, we break down a single work, covering the plot, the essential story, then diving into the point, the critical analysis, context, and enduring meaning. Ready to unlock the secret life of books? Let's begin. Today on Plot Point, we travel to America for the monumental novel Walking Dead Compendium 1 by Robert Kirkman. First, let's establish the plot, the essential narrative, characters, and events that define Walking Dead. The narrative begins as Deputy Rick Grimes awakens from a coma to find the world overrun by flesh-eating zombies known as walkers. Rick quickly reunites with his wife Lori and son Carl, along with his partner Shane and a small band of survivors near Atlanta. As the group flees the city seeking safe haven, they face constant attacks from the undead and growing internal conflict, including the violent breakdown of the unstable Shane. They eventually settle at a prison, which offers temporary security and a stable home, allowing them to rebuild a fragile community, but their pace is shattered by the arrival of the tyrannical and murderous governor of Woodbury, leading to devastating battles, mass casualties, and Rick's realization that the living survivors often pose a greater threat than the walkers. Now that we've mapped the story, we'll shift to the point, the critical analysis, themes, and enduring relevance of this masterwork. The early narrative arc of The Walking Dead focuses intently on the profound psychological toll of the apocalypse on its survivors, particularly Rick Grimes. His awakening into a world of chaos forces him into an immediate state of ego dissolution, where his pre-apocalypse identity as a peaceful lawman is destroyed, compelling him to embrace a new role as a brutal protector. The omnipresent threat of the walkers represents a constant externalization of primal existential terror, but the real depth lies in the survivors' regression as their civilized moral codes rapidly break down under pressure. Shane's swift descent into violence and paranoia is the initial tragic example of this collapse, illustrating how unchecked fear transforms the mind, leading the characters to discover that their internal human darkness is a more immediate and terrifying danger than the mindless undead. That brings us to the end of our discussion. We've navigated the plot and analyzed the point. Thank you for exploring this literature with me. Please subscribe to Plot Point and leave a review wherever you listen. Join me next time for a new book and a new journey. Until then, keep reading between the lines.